People don't realize when I went up there to play in the snow, I had a stomach virus. But I go out and play in the snow because I like to play in the snow. Yeah, I got sick. But anyway, um, back to normal, like it never even happened. It was like a 1 day incident, but like back to normal, like it never even happened. So yeah, we got it down lower than what I thought we could get it. So this is going to be the most affordable, more advanced. We're actually make this thing extremely advanced gunmetal we've ever developed. Usually we develop gunmetal like $300, $400, $500 worth of screen paint. This is going to be actually one of the most affordable. Now, the reason why is because, again, I explained to you that the black technology is more advanced technology. We'll show them side by side. We'll show you after we get done taking out all the, well, doing comparisons side by side of showing our product is going to be better than the certified screens, but also two side by side next to our black technology. But it just shows you that some people sit there and say, well, how come you can't charge the same price for the black technology? Black technology is expensive to make. It's not cheap. It's very expensive to make. And we'll show you a side by side of the Imperial next to an FLE black technology. There's a big difference between the two. There really is. The contrast, you pay for contrast. That's what I try to explain to people at the end of the day. Contrast, you pay for. You know, the thing about it is a lot of people are paying for contrast and they don't get contrast at all. They get a very, very bad shade of black. They do. They don't pick up black at all. Even an Imperial can pick up a contrast level that can put a gunmetal to shame. It'll literally turn a gunmetal white. That's how advanced these Imperials are going to be at the end of the day. Any certified gunmetal we stick against that screen won't stand a chance against it at all. If people make these certified screens, boy, this is going to definitely kick up some dirt. This is going to ruffle some feathers. I was thinking about that when I was just coming in. I was like, this is going to ruffle some feathers galore. It is. But it is what it is. It's business at the end of the day. And we can back it up 100%. I'm going to go out and I'm going to start the process of getting the top and the best gunmetal screens that these companies have to offer. I'm pretty sure the Elite Screens put their screen up. They did. Because I remember I could go onto their site and get that one. I can't even get that anymore. I got to go through all these channels to get that Surface. Don't worry. I got one in my storage unit. I'm pretty sure I got to go through my storage unit this week and go look around in there and find it. But I'm pretty sure I did bring one with me. Daylight has one. And there's another one which I doubt we're going to be able to get our hands on it because we got pushed around quite a bit on that one. Is the Dragonfly. Yeah, the Dragonfly. We got pushed around on that one quite a bit. We could not get our hands on that screen. I mean, I actually got a chance to talk to, I don't know if I talked to the owner or who he was, but anyway, I'm going to try again to see if we can get access to the Dragonfly. Majority of most screens, if they know this thing is coming, they're not going to give us samples. They're going to try to. Doesn't make a difference at the end of the day. People are going to do the side by side. Doesn't make a difference at all. Period. But this is going to put our technology even farther on the map in the gunmetal category. So this technology is going to do everything. And gunmetal screens, and I've tested them. They can't sit there and say, well, you don't have experience on our screens. Oh, I think I do. I tested a lot of y'all technology. As a matter of fact, I got inquiries from a few of you. I can show my email accounts that I've received inquiries from you about gunmetal technology. When we basically came in contact with Screen Innovation, we weren't developing black technology. We were dabbling with it, but we weren't selling it yet. I was working on, like I said, D4, so D4K, D5K, and D6K. That was gunmetal technology. That was nothing to do with black at all, period. Black technology didn't come along until later on. That's when it popped up. But other than that, yeah. So even they have acknowledged that we were coming extremely close to one of their screens because that's why they contacted us. Well, here's a different thing around this one coming around the corner. This technology here is not designed to come extremely close. It's designed to overwhelm and overpower your screen. That's what it's designed to do. So, a message out to Screen Innovation. You guys who develop gunmetal, this thing right here at the end of the day will compete with your product. I mean, more than that. It'll be way beyond what your product can do. Number one, it can be taken outside. It is fully weatherproof when we get done with it. It has the ability to be able to display outside. It has FLE technology MR, which is attached to it, which means it's allowed to draw in a lot of light. It can't do direct sunlight. Only the MHRs can do that. They have, oh sorry, HRs have that capability. It does have, we will make a rear projection version of it soon. So that'd be interesting too, rear projection gunmetal technology. Our rear projection technology screens. We'll do a wallpaper version of it probably later on. But anyway, it does have compatible with ultra short throw, which means you do not have to have a special screen in order to run ultra short throw and pay a couple $1,000 more. That won't be necessary. It will also have the capabilities of, you don't have to spend the money for expensive projectors. It's not necessary. We don't require it in any of our technology. It's not required with this either. So you don't have to go out and get this beefy projector to fix problems because the screen won't produce it. Not necessary. Go and buy yourself a 720p. It's going to look fantastic. Lowest lumen, we have a specification sheet below. Lowest lumens you can run on it be about 1,000 lumens. You can do this in a fully lit environment at 1,000 lumens. If you saw the demonstrations under the older version of the Phantom gunmetal, that thing could sit right up next to a bar light, I mean huge massive ceiling light, where that was in the maxed out environment and still generate an image with no problem. That's the kind of power these screens are going to have. So I don't think you're going to have an issue with your well lit environments. One of the other things we have on it, basically, it comes with gunmetal screens. We don't have that issue because, and no screen paint's going to have a narrow viewing cone effect. I don't even know how that would even be possible, but we put it in there anyway, just to satisfy the tech heads, because, again, screen paints don't have that problem. The narrow viewing cone was triggered off by the reflective surface. They have that issue, not screen paint should never have that issue. What's the other things we want to add to this thing? I can't think of all the stuff we did. I got specification sheet right there on the YouTube thing. I didn't get a chance to transfer it to this yet. So easy to paint application. As you saw me painting a 250-inch screen with ease. Yeah, it should be that easy to paint a screen. I know we ruffled some feathers when I said about moving the paint around, but keep in mind, you can't get upset about something that you made. If you made a statement that this is how your product has to be, how a screen has to be painted to your product, then guess what? People are going to talk about it. If people are going to talk about it, how can you get upset about something that you clearly stated that that's what your product does? I literally can't believe that we get people get upset over something that they sat there and said. If I made this up about your application, all more the well, you have a right to get upset because I said something that wasn't true. But this is literally what you said out of your mouth. So I don't get where we're going with that one, and I'm not going to continue on with that one. I got an interesting email. Leave that one alone. Oh my goodness, Karen's. It's Karen's 24/7 in this industry. They're so fickle and so freaking easily to be upset. My goodness, it's literally like walking on a floor made of crackers with 10 boots. It's so fickle, so easy to freaking break down and start crying and whining about every little thing. My goodness, stop it. Like, I swear. So I don't get this. People sometimes I really don't get them. I really don't. Cry over everything. To fix it, then go fix it. That's it. You didn't grow up in an era that way. I grew up in a different era. You didn't cry and whine about stuff. You got the slobber smacked out of your mouth if you cried about something you want and fixed it. Gee whiz. All right, let's get back to this small rant real quick. Anyway. So yeah, you're not going to have calibration, all that other nonsense, not even necessary. And pretty much, the certified companies, as I said before, it's their choice that they want to charge, the money they want to charge. It's our choice that we want to charge. But in order for us to show that there's a difference between our product and theirs, is we have to do a side-by-side test. So basic side-by-side tests would be color capabilities, which we do the color patterns and all that other good stuff. White level capabilities, and also to those dark levels, which are needed in gunmetal technology. So this is going to be quite interesting. Oh, no, forget it. I'm not going to go interested. I'm not going to leave it. I'm just trying to be kind here when I say that, because I don't want to come off as bragging, but I know exactly what this stuff is going to do. We've done it before. There's nothing new. It's just going to be a lot more. It's going to be different because this technology is a lot more advanced because of that FLE embedded into it. Now, what can you paint it on? Pretty much anything you want. The only thing we advise you, as all our other products, is do not paint this on a polyester tarp because they don't work well. They crack and peel on the tarp and they don't work outside well. They slide out the surface. We've done testing on that to show that doesn't work too well. And the stucco material, wall, the please don't paint over that. That's number one, it's a nightmare, and it was a headache. altogether. Just don't do it. Other than that, you paint over anything you want. Your fixed frame screens, motorized projection screens. No, it's not going to crack. It's not going to peel. So it's fully weatherproof, as I said before. It be sprayed on or roll on one coat application. If you're painting this on fabric, which we have all that information, and we load it onto the specification site, we advise you that you prime the surface. Only two surfaces that we require priming. That is a childproof wall. People may have those painted walls that have this kind of childproof kind of texture to it. You know, if your kids right on the wall, you can wipe it off. Those things are pain enough to paint over. I know I've done it twice. I know exactly how they're headaches. But basically, I would say prime the surface first and then apply our application. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just, I'm just so happy to have, I told you I wanted the most affordable gunmetal on the market. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Now, would I ever have the desire to develop a gray screen? No. That's beyond us. We're not doing that. It's old. It's beyond old. It's pointless. There's just no point at all whatsoever. I explained to the whole theory of gunmetal versus the gray screen paints. A gray screen paint can never, ever be able to compete with the gunmetal technology. It's virtually impossible. It ain't going to happen. Never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's so far behind, it's not even funny. The only reason why a gunmetal screen, basically, a gray screen still sells is because the gunmetal screens are extremely expensive. That's it. That's all. And then for people trying to make charcoal gray paints at the end of the day, no, your product is not gunmetal. I still getting arguments about that, about people who put my product is gunmetal. No, you can't take the statement we're gunmetal. It doesn't work that way. You have to prove that you're gunmetal. If you want to prove it, go to AVS Forums. Go pop on their site. They got a whole section there on gunmetal. Go pop in there. Get one of those bit of form and go in there and pop in and have a conversation and convince people that your product can take out $3,000 to $5,000 screens. Show them test demonstrations. Mind you, you can't stick your screen in a comfortable environment, because I see it so many times where people will make these great paints. They will stick their screen in a comfortable ambient controlled environment and stick the gunmetal in the same environment. You can't do that. And gunmetals can thrive in much more higher lit environments than that. That's one of the problems I would have had with the I forgot what it's called, something media, Dream Media, I think their screens. That when I saw the demonstration of this screen doing side by side to a TV, I'm like, why do you have the TV in the same environment as a ambient light controlled environment? TVs are not never set in ambient light controlled environments. You have to have that in the same environment. A TV can function in a fully lit environment. That's where it needs to be at. Now, will this go against the TV? No. You know why? It's gunmetal. You have to have an infinity contrast level to compete with the TV. You have to pick up a pure black level. TVs can read black. That's why when I see people doing demonstrations versus TVs, and you don't have a black screen, guess what? You shouldn't have that TV in that environment, because OLEDs or any kind of monitor at the end of the day can read a 100% infinity black level. Doesn't have to be a OLED to read infinity black. A regular OLEDs just pull out much higher, much deeper black levels, but any monitor is going to pull black. So your gray screen can't compete with it. This won't be to compete with a black screen, because again, it can't see the infinity contrast level, but its level is going to be high enough where any gunmetal can't compete with it. It'll just have that capability. So yeah. Let me see. I get people get upset over that. They were like, no, but the gray screens actually work. They show me where they work. Take it outside. Show me where that screen physically works. Show me. I used to make this stuff. Enlighten me, entertain me on this one. Show me where they work. Because we used to make this stuff. It ain't like I can sit there and have this conversation and say, hey, blah blah this and blah blah that, and I have no experience in gray screens. Where do you think I started from? I started from gray screens. So you can't tell me that. I've made more gray screen paint than the two individuals who claim to make products. I made way more than you guys have. I was even contracted. But other than that, no. It served its purpose. The whole purpose of the gray screen was to go against the white screen. That's it. It can't compete with black screens. It can't compete with gunmetal. Gunmetal comes out, it's far more advanced. That's what I figured. I found out when I did the black diamond against my own gray screen paint products. I realized that the diamond technology was far more advanced than my own products, and it took out all my screens. There is no way in the world you're going to compete with that stuff. And my stuff was extreme. My gray screen paints were extremely good. So After seeing a diamond do that kind of damage at the end of the day, oh yeah, there's no way in the world. Virtually impossible. Look at diamond sitting right there. That's why you don't see a lot of the gray screen paints doing demonstrations on certified. That's why you don't see them. And the reason, and on top of that, they try to do it, they'll try to stick the certified screen in their own environment where they think their screen's going to do well. It's not going to happen. A certified screen can be in an environment, a fully lit environment. It could be in max out environments. We've had them in max out environments. If we lay them against our screens, they don't do too well. And we put them in a max out zone and an environment where our screen's not there and they're on a standalone, they do extremely well. And they can tear up anything in there. So yeah, you wouldn't survive it. If you can't survive in a max out zone with a great screen, there's no way where you're going to compete with a screen that can pick up an extremely good contrast level. You're not going to compete with it. We've done the test already. I've done the test against certified versus gray paint products. Again, the reason why that screen costs $5,000 is a big reason why. But you can't read it. So the only reason why the gray screen was able to survive is because gunmetal was very, very expensive. That's all. That's the only reason why your survival rate still stayed intact. Now this right here, this would end you easily, very easily, because it would end a certified screen easily. We're going to spend $5,000 for a screen where they can do it for under $300. And we have the proof to back it up. No company can sit there and take us to court because, again, no company's ever taken me to court because I was able to prove that theory. So that's the real difference between getting online and saying something that you can't and something that you can. And all those certified screens that I've tested, not one of those companies ever taken me to court. You know why? Because I can back my products. They know that from the end of the day that if I take a leaked screen at any one of their screens today and I stick against that product, it is exactly what it's designed to do. Diamond even saw that and they never even touched their stuff. Now, when we were developing the D4K, D5K, and D6K, our purpose wasn't to overpower a diamond technology. Our purpose was to match it. That was it. And yeah, they saw what they saw. Now, this time around is different. This time around, the technology is designed to overpower your screen. All of them. So that's why we go for the best of the best. Give me the very best that you have. We take that out, there's nothing you have for us. That shows that's a more superior technology right there. That's going to ruffle some feathers. We don't care about the other people who make these charcoal gray mixes that claim to be gunmetal. We don't even think about y'all. We don't have interest in your products at all whatsoever because you don't have any testing. You don't have any weight. There's no weight on your product. One of these high-end certifies is tons of weight on them. We usually take out one of those screens easily. Our technology goes up a notch. But you guys, no, it'd be that's a waste of my time already. After stuff I go through anyway, the audio stuff is a headache anyway, so it's not worth the time. But anyway, yeah, our notch goes up. For each certified we take down, our notch goes up a little higher on that technology. And at $300, ooh, man, I'm telling you, how can they touch the technology? They can't even come close to the price point of it. Let me see. We got it at, if I can remember my numbers here off the top of my head, I think 24 ounces is $180 an ounce. Sorry, $180 for 24 ounces. That is a 100-inch screen. I think we got it at 100, or was it 230 something, 37, 34. I forget it was. 30, it's in the 30 range at $230 something for 32 ounces, does a screen size of 150 inches. Now, for the people who get upset about our prices at the end of the day, how are you getting upset? You don't compete. You're not in my section. I don't know why we get these emails from them and they get upset every time we name a price for something. Oh, you can't. Yes, we can. I can literally get more money for that technology, a lot of money for it. That technology can do things that gunmetals will never be able to do. So I got people already lined up to buy this already. They just been waiting for us to give us an announcement when we're going to launch it. The only people that complain about this are the people who make products that don't work. That stuff doesn't change colors. None of our products change. We paint a black screen. That screen stays black. It doesn't change any different colors. I've done it on site multiple times. It doesn't change colors. We don't have the issues that you guys are plagued with. And again, if you can't call yourself certified, you can't call yourself gunmetal unless you can show proof that you're able to take out a gunmetal. I'm not talking about taking a surface and sticking it against your screen, again, putting it in the same dark environment you sit in at the end of the day. I'm talking about real testing, real demonstrations. That's what we're talking about. So your demonstration should be anywhere between an hour to 3 hours long per test. And it can't be on the same projector over and over again. One of the problems you're definitely going to have when it comes to gunmetal is you can't use them with ultra short throws. It doesn't work. You have to have a special screen to use with ultra short throw. So the two versions we know of, I've seen with the, is there an ultra short throw version of that? Oh, we're going to have to probably dig that up too. Yeah, we're going to have to. I think of ultra short throw versions of them. Gee whiz. Ugh. I might have ordered that tonight. I'm just gonna go grab those tonight. Yeah, there's a LXXVII has an ultra short throw version of a Dark Star 9. Might as well. LXXVII's. There's an ultra short throw version of it. The fact that I gotta go out and I gotta spend extra money for a sample of an ultra short throw, there you go. That tells you right there from the door the difference of our wire technology is going to be more advanced. Because again, I literally can't test an ultra short throw on the Dark Star 9 because you can't put it on an ultra short throw. There's a certain screen they have for it. That's what I was telling you. So if I'm going to go out and buy myself a projection screen and I have an ultra short throw, I got to go get a different screen for that. I can't use the same screen. I got to buy another one. Where our technology will do both. Let me see. Screen samples. Isn't this much better? Just having the dark screen. Let me see. Now, do I think that their products don't work? No, their products do exactly what they're designed to do. All the products I tested under their technology does exactly what it's designed to do. They're very good screens. They are. Excuse me. It's just mine's going to be better. There it is. Dark Star Ultra Short Throw. See, they have an ultra short throw version. Oh, gee whiz. That's not going to withstand that technology. Please tell me that's not the color. Color got to be a little darker than that, right? Dark Star 9. What's the price of this? 14 bucks. Okay, I'll grab this today. At least we got it on hand. Non-refundable. Don't worry, you're not getting it back. I'll be keeping it. It's not going anywhere. Let me see what we got here. Now, all these screens we had in our collection, you got to read through their specifications. Because some of them won't allow you to use projectors under 2,000 lumens. I think that's the cinema gray. It doesn't allow you to use under 2,000 lumens. Let me see. I've had all these, just about all these. Yep. Cinema gray. Cinema gray. Let me see. Cinema gray is $9. That's front and rear. I would love to get my hands on the Dark Star 9, but we have one already, so I'm not worried about that. So we're good on that one right there. See where they have the, we've got the ceiling light projection. We've had all those. That's just ceiling light projection. We've had all those already. I had all those in the collection. So I've tested all those. Ceiling light projection 2, 3. We have both of those. But the more advanced one to be, this is the advanced one. This is the most advanced one. This is the Dark Star 9 Ultra Short though. This is the one. This will pretty much obsolete anything they have in the category under Ultra Short though, because these are the big boys. Anything in the Dark Star 9 category. Now, what projector we use for Ultra Short though category? Oh, $60 machine. That's all we need to use. Why would I need to spend the money for anything expensive? Not necessary. We do it at 60 bucks. And if we ever get the complaint by saying that, oh, it's not fair, you should use a, well, I should do it, spend more money for a projector or a screen, so I'm having a problem. The same thing I went through when I did the Dark Star 9, and we had a projector sitting on a floor one time, and somebody came in and ranted about it and said, hey, that's not fair. You can't have the screen sitting on the floor. I said, well, look, I'm going to spend $3,000 for a projection screen. I want to be able to put that projector anywhere I want. Why do I have to sit there and mount it to the ceiling if I don't want to mount the ceiling? What if I can't mount the ceiling? I got a ceiling fan, so I take the entire ceiling fan down there and rewire it. No, we're not doing all that. Should we just set it anywhere I want? So it shouldn't be an issue. Our screen is another problem. Dark and ultra short through. Okay, let me see. Daylight. No. Everything's supposed to. Oh, bring you guys down a little bit there. There we go. At the first. There we go. Daylight. Daylight. Gunmetal. There we go. I had the Surface 2, but I lost it, so I had to get me another one. Screen $6,000. Oh my goodness, $6,000 versus $300. That's gonna be interesting. We can take it. We've done it already before. See the price of the screen. Let me see. There you go. $6,032. Can you imagine that? People spend that much money for a screen. Interesting. And our technology is at $300. This is 120 inches. So my technology at, I think it's 237. 237, I think I found the price that we charge, paints up to a 150 inch screen. 100 it paints up to 120 to 150 inch screen at around $237. It takes that screen right there. Do you have any idea the credibility of technology or black technology can easily take all this out with no problem? That's nothing. We can easily take this out with black technology. But can you imagine the gunmetal to gunmetal? Because they'll sit there and say, well, the advantage point of our black technology is the fact that we have the Affinity 1 contrast. That's the reason why. They know they can't compete with that. They already know that. But in the field of gunmetal, they basically can play in that area. But when an Imperial comes into play, it's going to be a whole different story. Imperial basically can do things, like I said, you're not dragging this screen outside. It's not going to happen. And I'm wondering if it's ultra short though compatible and all that. We can look through all that and everything. Narrow viewing, comb effects, all that stuff. So 120 inch brings home theater out of the dark ages. Well, we specialize in ambient light rejection technology, so that should be interesting. I had this Surface already. What am I talking about? We've done this one already. I literally have done this one already. I don't know why I talk as if we never did it. We've done this already. We've literally done this already. Let me see. I'm going to go back to my unit. Oh, we've done this. See? Right there. Did it already. We have their Surface here. This is their product right there. Had it already. Told you we've done all this testing already. That's what I said for certified screens. We know your stuff. We know all your stuff. Oh, we put you against the Supreme 8. Yeah, and we have 77s now. Man, this is going to be interesting. Not even going to be interesting. I already know the outcome of it all. I literally already know the outcome of it all. We've been here. We've been here. That's why I said that. You know, we've done it already. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to make it sound for them at the end of the day. I'm trying to give them. No, there's no hope. There's nothing there. I got to give it as it is. There's no hope. That's it. The Imperial is going to walk right through them. That's what it's going to. This is an 8 at the end of the day. Okay, how we doing out there? First things first. My name's Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of Luminous 4K screen paint using ambient light rejection technology gain. Did several of them. Still waiting for my my lamp. Turning both of them. I have a newer version of the Darkstar 9 coming out. Look at the material right there. They're both that gunmetal kind of design to it. And the Darkstar 9 has a 0.9 gain. All right, so we're going to do both of these. Darkstar 9 here. Put this one here. All right, someone's asking me where's all my stuff. It's in storage collecting dust. I have no need for it anymore. As I said before, I realized that based when I first moved, it's extra baggage. Actually, I'm giving it away to a niece of mine. She's a hardcore gamer. She's going to get my entire collection, so I'm going to give it all to her because I don't touch it, don't want it. I passed all that. No, it's just for me. I'm just past all that. Let me see. So this is there it is right there. See, that's the sample sheet. They had two versions of it. They had one that had a 2.3 gain and another one had a 0.9 gain. And this is against an 8. 8s were much lighter. They were black screens, but they were much lighter. But technology we have now is way darker than 8s. I guess under the bar light. There we go. Oh.
So we're going to go with the highest one. The highest one they have is that one. If you look at this one, look at the screen. See how it looks light? Now I'm going to pull it off the wall, pull off the screen. I'm going to show you the screen when I lay it down. So when I lay it down, it looks black, doesn't it?
It's dark, yeah.
It's like a black screen. All right. So if I lay it here, on top of the projector, looks light. When you lean it up, it looks black. So it uses a form of reflective material, kind of like materials. Like I said, sometimes these particular screens don't work well with ultra short throw projectors. I think this one may have a problem with ultra short throw because it is giving off a kind of reflective kind of material. So if I look at it straight, the minute I turn to the side,
it goes dark. Narrow viewing cone effect. You know, that's a narrow viewing cone effect. Viewing cone effect. That's what it is. The narrow viewing cone effect on screens you turn to the side. That's what I found impressive about the Screen Innovation screen. Their panel is when I went to turn to the side. I was expecting for the screen to go dark around the edges. It didn't do it. So I was like, okay, that's different. That's quite impressive. Quite impressive indeed. But other than that, screen paints should never have that problem because we don't have a reflective surface. That's why we should never have that issue.
Viewing cone. That's when a screen basically cannot be viewed on an angle. So if you turn on an angle, the screen's automatically going to turn dark. So right there we have I got to say the name Paxton or Paxton, keep saying the name incorrectly.
I butcher their name every time. I do apologize.
Like I said, that's their screen right there with 0.8. And over here we have a darker 9 on this side, 0.9 gain.
Oh, 0.8. That's what their screen is. 0.8.
Take our screen paint mix right here. I'm going to put that right over there. Let's just stick that there. Mix there. Curious. There's no way in the world that his paint passed any of these screens. These are high professional screens.
Yeah, this is whose paint right there. No, we tested your stuff. We tested the other certified screens we had. We tested your stuff, and it did pour. It did exactly what my digital and crystal screen paint did when I put it against one of those high-end screens. It tore it up. There's no way your product is doing anything at all, period. Man. I don't even want to do the test. I swear, do the test. That's why I can go back and look at my test. It's very important we can go and look at these things.
Especially this one right here. This reminds me of a Seymour AV 1.3. This reminds me of a Seymour AV 1.3.
Yeah, it does.
There's no way you pass that screen. Couldn't have passed it. Virtually impossible. All right, so now we have I don't know why that screen looks black. And like I said, you look at it, when I first got it out of the package, I'm thinking it's black.
Yeah, daylight screens look black. They do. When I got it out of the package, this is what I saw when I first saw the screen. I was like, oh shoot, they got a black screen. I got to get this and then they got to get it over here. Nope. Got it over here, and it was actually a very, very dark gunmetal, extremely dark gunmetal, but they're not black. And then the problem I had with it, well, not the problem so much I had with it, is the fact that it didn't maintain its contrast levels all that well. Not against a black screen, it wouldn't do it. Let me see, go back to our video here. So this is what we show our white levels first. That's our white levels. First thing we show you. Now, the reason why I have to do the white levels first, which is extremely important, is because this allows me to see if the screen can compete with us. There's a certain tone I need to see. If that tone doesn't pick up, we automatically know who won the fight. It's very easy. So that's an 8. See how high 8 white levels are? FLEs are way beyond that. So yeah, it's these are 0. 0.9, 0.8 screens. Now, yeah, if they don't pick up that, if their levels are coming up too high, I can automatically tell that when it comes to colors, they won't read. Our screen, on the other hand, can't go so dark that we can't see it. That's why we put our products against black paint and all that, because you an idea of what we don't want and why our products don't match black paint, why our products are tested and all that.
It'll be horrible if we hit with a red pattern, because what's going to happen is going to produce a white level so high that the image is going to fade. And this is not good. Neon red.
See?
Told you.
Every time. Every single time. For every single screen paint I've ever developed, I literally had to do these tests over and over again and again and again. I've done them too many times to count. I know exactly what's going to happen. The minute I come and look at the screen, I can see and tell already what's going to happen because I've done it too many times to count. They can't read it. They won't pick it up at all, period. They can't pick up any colors, nothing. Next to our technology won't read because they're white. Listen, the white level balance is way off. That's why they won't register.
Told you. I told you it was going to happen. I called it before the video even started. I knew it was going to happen. The white level is too freaking high. So when a white level comes off that high on the screen, I know it's going to fade if red hits it. Any color hits that screen, it's automatically going to fade.
Turn the lights on.
It's good, but it's going to...
Again, when someone sits there and says, well, how do you know about the gain? My gain on my technology, at the end of the day, we have these Roman numbers. Or basically we have them under 8s or whatever, but it's basically by whatever we have at the end. So if it says advanced ambient light rejection technology, that is the name of the chemical that we drop into it that allows it to be able to pick up that extremely high gain capability. They're named, they have names, not numbers. Because when we got to a point where we were knocking out 0.9 screens and 0.8s in these high-end screens, and we were in environments and we were producing images that these screens can produce, at that particular point, I was like, you know what? I'm not even under that tradition anymore. We're in a different level, and we were. If you're in an environment, put it this way, if you're in a max out room environment, that's a ton of light. Some people I watch will show these meters off and they'll go, look, my screen's producing this image. The image has to come up perfect, which means, see how I'm showing a red level? See how the red level is not fading? It's not washing out like the other screens are having a difficult time picking up. It's because they can't maintain in the environment that we're actually producing and that light we have in the environment. On top of that, you're sitting next to a screen that has a tremendously high gain attached to it, and that's why it's overpowering their screen. So if that screen's at 0.8, 0.9, what would that make us? We're able to overpower the gunmetal screen that has an extremely high gain attached to it and still maintain our levels of colors without fading and washing out. There you go. That's when you figure out at the end of the day, oh, we're not in the same category. That's why when someone made that statement, we know who, sat there and said, he doesn't know. Yo, you don't know. I don't care what screen paints you make at the end of the day. Let's put my knowledge and screen paints versus yours. Who do you think would win? I'm not trying to brag here. People come up thinking, oh, you're bragging. No. Let's be honest here. If I'm basically doing basic math and I'm going against a mathematician and he sits there and makes a statement, who do you think is going to win? I think the mathematician is not going to have a problem with winning because it's going to be a far more time. He has more experience in the field. It is what it is. It's not bragging. It is what it is. It's simple, basic facts. I have more knowledge. So with that being said, I think I would know what I'm talking about if I clearly make these statements. Have you done any of these tests at all? You haven't done any of them? Well, guess what? Then you're not on the same level that I would be on. So with that being said, right there, as I told you before, that's why we don't use that gain calculator, because it doesn't relate to us. If you have to go in and you have to redirect light in an environment because you're afraid your screen's trying to wash out, you don't have ambient light rejection technology. So as we go along, look at this in the blue. Yeah. So the Imperial is way beyond 8. Even the gunmetal version is way beyond 8. This is an 8 technology from way back. I wanted to see if we tested the screen already. We had it. We did have it.
Let's go up gray. Or we'll get green next. All right, just in the basic colors. Neon green.
Do the lights on, lights off. You have to be extremely thorough about these
Let's
tests.
go with the grays now. We'll switch over to gray.
Due to the fact that you could be sued big time. Any one of these big companies will come after you.
Gray
They have no
colors.
problem. They got the money and they have the legal capabilities to reach out and touch you. You have to back it up.
Now keep in mind when I did the demonstration, look at the bottom area with the gray. That's the color the gray is supposed to come up.
Yeah, this is
It's
the
not
gray.
supposed to come up white.
This is
So
supposed
it's
to be
not
gray.
producing gray here for the background. This is black for the background, which is not producing, and it's not producing part of the gray.
So consider the fact that our black technology picks up a better gray than a physical gray screen. The reason why a physical gray screen can't see gray is because it doesn't have enough contrast to pick it up. It won't read it. That's interesting, isn't it? I literally had someone actually do that one time. Actually, we got that from we got the color patterning test all from a troll. A troll came into a room one time. He says, well, you know, show us your colors. Let's see how bright your colors come up compared to these screens. And he said white levels first. So we did the white levels first. And because they thought the screens that came up brighter were going to produce a higher color, they were just saying, oh, yeah, your screen's definitely done. We put that red on. That was the end of it. And you got it backwards. Y'all got it backwards. It's not the brighter the color, the higher the color. No, it's you're backwards. It's the other way around. It's the darker. That's where it comes from. And a guy in OLED said it crystal clear. He said it right there. He said in the color, in the black, you see true color. Said it right there. And if that was the case, then white screens would be more expensive. They'd be far more expensive than gunmetal screens. And white screen is the worst screen you could possibly get for your setup. Let's go back to this right here.
The thing is that when they test their screens, they test their screens on white projection screens.
Yeah.
That's the problem. A white projection screen is not a challenge. It's not going to give you any challenge testing your screen on a white projection screen. Any screen that hits a white projection screen is always going to be better. It's a white screen.
Now right here where I should have added into this when I was talking about the white screen. It didn't hit me until I realized that. And why did they test your screens on white screens? Why would you do that? You know, you really don't get a chance to see exactly how powerful your technology is. You should be putting against other gray screens. Why do you only do tests on white screens? Because white screens aren't anything you're going to run into. I realized that when I went offline. When I went offline and I had to do testing and stuff, I realized that all the screens we bumped into, every single one of them was a white screen. We never bumped into a gray screen ever. All white screens. So yes, when they go into a demonstration, they have to show the difference between their product overall on a white screen. So I didn't realize that there, but I realize it now. But they still, all in all, should have been testing against other great products, other great paints, all that stuff. Oh, we got to do a gray versus gray. That's going to be fun. Let me see. So, yeah.
If you have a slightly little bit of tint in it, a little bit of gray in it, it's going to perform better because the contrast is going to be better on a white screen. Real challenge is what you should be testing. You should be testing a gray screen versus a gray screen. That's the challenge right there. We do demonstrations with black screen versus black screen. That way I can. So let's put up the OLED.
Contrast.
Now, if my screen can produce a white level higher than another black screen, both screens are going to produce contrast. That's going to happen. The white levels are important because the white level makes a difference on a black screen where the image is going to come out dirty. Same thing vice versa if you're doing a gray screen. You have to be to see which screen is going to pull a better contrast. Contrast is always going to pull.
$6,000 for a screen. Ooh, man. This is going to be... yeah, our gunmetal screens are so dark. Them things are literally so dark. People mistaken for black screens. I was literally in a demonstration, and I had to take a black screen and stick it against the screen to tell people it wasn't black. Our gunmetals are crazy dark. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to ruffle some feathers, I'll tell you that much. It's going to ruffle some feathers. Now, as for you naysayers, because I know at the end of the day, you guys don't do anything. I hate to say it, people like that, and I really do. I would like to think they do something productive in the day. But I'm pretty sure they're going to send us some fake emails. I've seen these ones already. Keep in mind, God knows we're going to do it before you do it. You know what I mean? We already know, don't serve Satan. Anyway, and I know you're going to probably send us like fake emails, like these are companies attacking us. No, we know these companies already. We are quite aware. We know who they are. So here's a little piece of advice for you. Grow up, please. Just grow up. Be adults for once in your life. Grow up. I literally sent us emails a couple of times trying to pose as companies. You keep that up, I'm going to take one of those emails and I'm actually going to address it and forward it to one of those companies. Say, hey, look, there's someone we're trying to steal your identity who's claiming to be you. We playing around. Forward your stuff over to them. And I think they're going to like that too much. And again, give your address too on top of that. Stop doing that stuff and grow up. My goodness. Okay. What was this? This was, D6K. This is a D6K.
How you guys doing out there? My name is Kenneth Bird, I'm designer of digital crystal
this is
screen
way
paint
back.
and digital 4K crystal onyx. So today we're testing out the D6K's gain capability. The paint has something called crystal onyx technology times.
Wow.
Quick, and we'll start the demonstration. Now we're using a 100-watt light in the spotlight. Both lamps have 100 watts of light and the bar light's about 100. Let's just show you exactly how magnificent the gain is on this paint.
So when I explain to an individual, anytime I don't know what I'm talking about, yeah, like I said, I've tests like this by the dozens of us basically taking lamps and shoving them in front of the screens and all that stuff like that. That's where everybody else started doing it. They started mimicking us, doing the same thing we did in demonstrations. That's a D6K. Oh, interesting. And D5K, D6K. So that's the one we did right from there. That's good to know. Speaking about that, sorry about that, people. We had both of their screens. So I guess I'll go the light screens. I got to call them. You can't actually go pick that up from the website. You have to call them for one of these. We have to call and get that one right there from the door. All right, so that's cool. We have to get it. Do they have a special ultra short throw screen? I wonder. I asked if they have an ultra short throw version of it. Now we can easy. Now you don't have to do that when I think about it, because people sit there and say, "Well, how can you do the ultra short throw version?" Because we don't have to, because that screen is both. Our screen is both ultra short throw and long throw, and short throw compatible. We don't have that problem at all. Period. $10,000 to 1. 10,000 to 1 contrast. Let me see. Gunmetal. Black Widow. At one point I thought about putting a toy spider in the box, but then again, that would be a bad idea. I might freak somebody out, so I'm not doing that. Gunmetal Black Widow getting certified. This is 38. We even had a gunmetal outside for an inflatable? Really? Gee whiz. I keep forgetting all these tests we do. I've done so many of them. I really keep forgetting. That's an LT. Stage 1 gunmetal. Gunmetal versus the 38 black. Let me see right here. Let's see what I'm seeing on my end. Different tests we've done. Yeah, 39 gunmetal. 204 versus 3K to 5K samples. Let's look at some of the tests we had to do. That's an LT light. Yeah, we definitely be much darker than that. Definitely much darker than that. So that right there is our gunmetal technology. We're going to be way darker than this. Well, actually, no, because bottom line, we're in a max out environment. That's a mistake somebody made, and they're trying to do something stupid and got hit with a post office mail fraud charge. Did something real stupid in a demonstration. So When you're in an environment that has that much light, screens come up lighter. They do, because you have a ton of light nailing the screen. So in the demonstration where we're showing up the gunmetal technology down in the Maxwell zone, someone decided to go in, and when we went to order their screen paint from them, they decided to go in and change the color of the paint at the last minute. And we recorded our shopping cart of us buying the product. The heck was that? Oh, buying the product from them. We recorded our shopping cart, which clearly showed the person went and manipulated the shopping cart, sent us on a completely different product, and basically the United States Postal Service and committed this mail fraud. But anyway, they saw the demonstration in the basement, and what they thought they were seeing was they thought the screen was actually this color. No, screen is much darker than this. The reason why our screens appear to be lighter because we're being hit with a ton of light in the environment. So that light making contact with the screen, yeah, there's a lot of light in there. That's why screens seem lighter. But when we pull them up out of the basement, we put them in normal lighting, they're very, very dark screens. And he caught himself making a product close enough to this color. And when we got it here, we realized what he tried to do. I'll give you a little education on that real quick. Yeah, that's what he tried to do. It backfired on him because our screens are way darker than that. He just, color didn't even match, couldn't even come close to matching the screen. Because when we pull those things out of the basement, they're much, much darker. So a lot of light making contact with the screen. Let me see. This one be it. There we go, right there. See, this is the product that was changed at the very last minute. See how you look at the color here? He thought that was the color we had downstairs in the basement. No, that screen looked that light because there was a ton of light nailing the screen. So you're not used to being in very well lit environments. So you wouldn't know the reaction of change. We would know the reaction of change because we're in like really high lit environments. So our screens do come out looking lighter. When we take them in another environment, they can look up much darker. It's because they're not in that tremendous amount of light. Even though we are using a lot of light in most demonstrations, the Maxwell environments are much brighter. That's why the screens look lighter down there. So this is what he thought our color of our screen was. See the color we have here, right? And then we go back over to here. That's what he thought he was doing. He thought he was matching the color. So that way, if we put the paint against there, it would blend in and he could easily see on camera, hey, I got his product. I learned how to make it, such and so and so. No, your Frankenstein at the end of the day was basically charcoal gray, not gunmetal. That's because the screen was being hit with a ton of light. If you're doing demonstrations in the dark, you really don't know what your screen's capable of doing, number one. But number two, your screen will actually change its color due to the fact that the light that's hitting the screen will make the screen look like it's basically lighter than what it is because of the light we have in the environment. We do a lot of ambient light testing. So you can see the color here, right? And if we go back over here, you will see he tried to mimic the color right there. But the problem we had there in that one is the fact that we recorded a shopping cart of him actually, or what we actually purchased and what we saw in the video demonstration and what the color it was on his website. At the last minute, he changed everything and sent it over, which then, using the United States Postal Service, committing fraud through his website and manipulating and abusing his company, he committed mail fraud. And that's what was filed against him for that. But actually, this is the color right here. Now, what we notice is when we got the color over here, it's actually not that far off from the UV. The UV and this one are exactly the same. There's no difference at all. It's a little slight difference. There's a hair difference, but not much. Look at this. So this now, we know how to make this. We made this on camera. This was very easy to make. Again, we used his own combination on how to make the paint, which is how we showed you how to make it for free. We watched this tutorial, which showed us how to make it. But we did a reversal, because if you grew up in that era, well, actually, you not grew up in that, but if you made products in that era, anytime someone was making darker, we did see darker ones out there, they would never start off with the base being white. You would use way too much black paint, and you'd be in there forever mixing black paint into white paint, trying to get it to work. So what they would do is something called a reversal, where they would start off with the base being black, and then they would add in the white paint, and this would allow them to get that tone a lot faster than eating through tons of product in order to try to get it to that tone by using it the other way around, called a reversal. So that's what we did. 6 tablespoons of white paint into that, and we got this product that fast. Now, mind you, keep in mind, like I said, I have experience in this field because I used to make this stuff. So this is how we made it. We made darker, more charcoal mixes. That's what we did. So, you know, it just comes from experience. But yeah, he's actually 1, this is 5, this is 6. This is how it's made. That's 5, that's 6. We can tell by looking at them. So this is ours right here.
Because we made it here in the video. We did a live stream on making your products using your tutorial video right here, the black and white paint mixture, and we just added more tablespoons of black paint. So what we did was we did a reversal. Instead of taking white paint and adding black paint, we added in black paint and added in white paint.
It's called a reversal.
We mix perfectly.
People at that time, when gray screen paints were all the rage, people were on all over AVS forums, Projector Central, a whole lot of sites were popped up. It was a good time. It was a nice time to be around. People were pretty cool and real nice to you. And people were just sharing all kinds of ingredients and stuff like that back and forth. And the reversals, we found out about the reversals, and guy was showing them more darker mixes they were making over there. And we were over there on their site checking out what they're doing. The guy was like, it's real easy. Just don't start off with the white base. It'll take you forever. You'll be dumping black paint in there all day long, and then you'll lose count on how much paint to put in, because you'll put in like 10 tablespoons or the 20 tablespoons. It'll take too long. The easy way to do it is start off with the base black first, and then you add in the white. It doesn't take much to trigger it. It really doesn't. So if you put in anywhere from 5 to 6, yeah, that's his product. That's where his product clicked, at 5 to 6.
Displayed, we displayed the container, time stamped, date.
So, yeah, he came off, our product's darker. All our gunmetals are darker.
This is the color of.
Because the problem you have here is that the certified screens would overpower that product. Our product came with that color, a certified screen would take it out too easy. It has to be darker than a certified, it has to be. The contrast levels have to come up much darker than the certified. Now, what some people do when they try to make darker mixes, what they do is they put in the white paint. They'll put in black paint on top of that. They'll try to darken it, and then maybe they add a little silver to it, some glitter and stuff like that to it to try to get it to work. Well, again, you're gonna have problems. They add a lot of white paint into it, and then more silver into it, because they figure that this is going to heighten your white levels. It's not going to work at all. What it's going to do is actually going to weaken your contrast very fast, extremely fast. It's going to weaken the contrast levels. You're going to have problems. That's why I can understand why they kept adding water to the paint. And everything they do, they add water to it. Why do you keep doing that? That's a noob. Noobs do that when they start off. So you add water into a gray or a silver substance, you've actually expanded the base of that silver substance, if you know what I mean. We made more of it, a lot more of it. And you add that into black, is what you just did. You just transfer your screen automatically into a gray screen that fast. Then you're going to have to do the testing. Now, once you do come up with a level of what color you want, you're still going to have to do testing, which means you're going to do white level tests, and white level tests have to be done at 1,000 lumens. You also have to do this at 5,000 lumens also too, to show that your screen is not, well, you at 5,000 lumens, you have to make sure that your screen doesn't need high-end projectors to produce white light. You also have to do that at 1,000 lumens. You have to do this in max out environments where meters will not read or will not pick up. That's why I have those stage lights behind me. Those have been powerful lights at the end of the day. You're going to have to do certified screens, and I mean every certified screen you can literally get your hands on. And every single one of those demonstrations you're going to do on a certified, you're going to start off with white levels first, color patterns, and then contrast. This will be done with lights on and lights off. There's 2 sets of these tests that have to be done. One with lights on, one with lights off. This has to be done. You have to show narrow viewing cone effects. You have to show at a distance throw. Can you drop it at 8 feet? Can you drop it at 13 feet? Can you drop it at 25 feet? Can you drop it at 16 feet? Can you drop it at 18 feet? And you'll be testing the screens all at the same time. That's just the long throw category. Wait till you get to the ultra short throw, because you're going to do that all over again on ultra short throw. And every single ultra short throw screen, you will repeat that test again and again and again and again and again. We're not even done yet. You still got to go outside. You got to repeat all that outside, but now you're going to do it on a different level, because any screen that's not designed for outside, you can't take it out there because you face a lawsuit. So you have to basically find a company, figure out they have an outdoor screen, take that outside. If not, get a white surface, because the majority of screens are going to stay outside of white, and you got to do that demonstration. You got to do that demonstration at 100 inch. You got to do it at 120. You got to do it at 150. You got to do it at 180. The bigger size you have to go, because when you start moving to the venue category, these are machines that are not used on normal size screens. So now you're going to be jumping to 150s, 180s, and duals, and 200, 250 inch screens. Got to show it on that spectrum, because people are going to say, hey, how does your product work at 250 inches or 180? What's the biggest you're ever going on your screen? Because they're guaranteed they're going to go much bigger. They are. As you put it at 250, it satisfies them, because then they're like, okay, you can generate at 250, cool. And you're doing it on what projector? The cheaper projector you use, the more people are impressed by your products. Because again, if we're out there with a projector that costs 270, and you're out there with a projector that costs you $6,000, and you can't get the screen to work, that tells you a lot about what we do at the end of the day. That's why it's always important. You can't cut corners. Or some people basically don't do any of these tests at all because they're afraid their product's going to fail. Well, if it does, that's a good sign. Better it fail for you than it fail for a customer and you get hit with a complaint. So that's a good thing, you know. That's why, you know, cars you drive around in right now, hey, had a failure rate in it, and they fixed the problem. If not, you would have found out about it, and rather they find out about it than you find out about it. Which one you rather have? You rather be driving around in your car and you find out the failure rate, or you want them to find out? I would rather have them find out. It'd be much safer. I prefer not being someone's crash dummy at the end of the day, you know? So you're going to have failures. And when those failures pop up, they go, oh, shoot, we didn't know this was even going to happen. Good thing this happened. Good thing we tested it. Now we can fix this. Because, again, that's going to be mass recalls and lawsuits behind it. That's why you have to test everything out. You don't want to go through that. So, nah.
That's all that is. Nothing new.
It's charcoal. That's charcoal.
Nowhere near. You shouldn't even be calling that.
Yeah, your product's charcoal gray. It's not gunmetal. That's gunmetal. See the difference in the colors? So you have a charcoal gray, not a gunmetal. If you're going to tell people, like I said, if you go into any forum site, and there's tons of them going to forum site, and there are people that talk about diamond all day, people talk about elite screens all day, people talk about daylight screens all day long. There's whole topics on the technology there. Go in there with your product and try to convince someone in there to buy your product over what they just invested money into. Change their mind. You ever seen the people sitting outside trying to have a topic change my mind? Just change their mind. We could do it. We can change your mind quick. You have to be the show. You have to have all those tests. And since y'all don't have that much, you don't do that much testing, because I can show by your video count. Your video count is extremely low. For you to be around that long, some people have not been around that long. For some people have been around that long, and your video count is that low, yeah, you have not been doing any testing at all, period. I'm going to do that. When I get a booth, I'm going to set it up, because they have conventions up here. You know that, right? You can easily get into those with no problem. They have technology conventions up here. I'm definitely going to be in a couple of them. But basically, I would love to have a booth that says gunmetal versus our technology, prove me wrong. Change my mind. Yeah, change my mind. Why you would spend $5,000 for a screen over our technology at under 300. So, better contrast? No, can't. No, it's not going to work, because we produce higher contrast. The screens are much darker. Let me come out of this one, go back to my page, my front page. I love on my front page. I might do the other one. The way it sits up, I love it. Oh, there we go. And it has this sit up. I want the sit up to do it. There we go. Boom. I love that part. I got to go in and change this. I found I can actually make it a little bit quicker for this to come on first. The intro come on first. I got to go and change all that out real quick. Some of this little quick update I have to do. Yeah. So you have to do all that testing. So for me, I can go into any of those sites and just be able to show. Now, we have to do these side by side. When we get finished the Imperial, we'll put it right next to the black screen because people always want to see the difference.
We're going to technology with at 1%. Now the gunmetal is at 100% and functioning quite well. And I want to see how both of these are going to react. I want to switch over here. That way I can get a better understanding. All right. Just running an ice cream truck. How can I get ice cream?
Yeah, I found out where that ice cream truck was at too.
Ice cream truck pops up.
And right next to the house. The ice cream wasn't that good.
First, I want to check out some of these contrast levels.
Ain't that right, Tackle?
Now, as I said before, that the gunmetal does have the ability, has that contrast shifting technology, which allows it to be able to register contrast levels very, very well, especially for the technology being as dark as it is now. And also, too, our 38 black window does produce a higher contrast level due to the fact the screen is a physical black screen. So we're going to test white levels and colors and see what we get. Like I said, it's going to be a really hard decision because both technologies, like I said, can overpower gunmetal screens. Gray screen paint powders can't compete with the technology, and as you can see, you can fill up the full environment without a problem.
Now, someone was asking me, am I going? No, I made this statement already, but we're not buying any more of those mixed products. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. It's a headache and a waste of money.
Yes, like I said, the black levels
The only thing we're going to put against
much more heavier because the screen is.
Only thing we're going to put against our technology is more the advanced certified screens. That's all that's important. There's no point. It's a waste of time and money altogether. It's a waste of time. It's not even a waste of money. It's just a waste of time. That's what it is. I don't have to worry about going through cancellations or any other nonsense I have to go through. If I go order a Surface from any one of these companies, I never have to go through that. I might get passed around a little bit. That's basically about it. But other than that, no. I don't have to worry about it. Ton of testing there. Now see, that's black paint next to our screen. Black paint doesn't pick up on our technology. This is how black paint comes up next to our any of us, even 8s. There are 38s. Black paint won't register. And this is gray paint. Won't register. We're switching back and forth. All right, so we did, let's see, daylight screen, daylight. I have to call them to get that. I know I have to call them to get that particular surface. Can't go through there and get it. Let's see. Here we go. All right, cool. That's already marked. Which one does it make? Vivistorm doesn't make gunmetal. They make a charcoal gray. Stuart doesn't make one either. I don't think Stuart makes one. Stuart, gunmetal screens. Stuart, gunmetal screens. No, they don't. That's daylight. That's daylight. That's Stuart. So Stuart doesn't make. I know they don't make a gunmetal screen. Let's go with what's the screen called? Oh man, I forgot the name of the screen. Dragonfly. Dragonfly gunmetal projection screen. Gunmetal, really? Dragonfly gunmetal projection screen. This is the screen we try to get, and reason why we couldn't get it because they passed us on to a diamond. They wouldn't give us the sample. I'm gonna contact them again because I would like to test your screen. But they wouldn't come near us. That doesn't sound. If you have a screen, I don't get that today. What's the problem with the back down problems? I don't get it. It's a simple side by side. Why do we have to go through so many back downs all the time? We go through this with certified. We go through this with screen paints. We go through this all the time. Constantly back downs. It's a simple side by side demonstration. Either way, it's going to happen. Either way, someone's going to have our screen in your living room. They're going to get a sample sheet of your product. It's going to happen. So either we're going to do it or somebody else is going to do it. It's going to happen. There's no way to stop it. It just makes it, it doesn't go well for you if you do it that way. Right? He directed us to Screen Innovation. They wanted to do a demonstration, Dream Media. They wanted to do a demonstration with our product. But you guys are in ambient light controlled environments. You have to be in our environment. Our technology is a little different. I want to be in a fully lit environment. You won't survive in that environment. And judging by, I do my research. I watch show demonstrations. I do. You know what I mean? And I notice that you guys are not in fully lit environments. You're in ambient light controlled environments. So how will you be able to withstand? Under FLE technology, you mean our advanced ambient light rejection, those environments are tremendously bright. But under FLE technology, there is no way in the world you're going to compete with that technology. And I'm pretty sure they saw a demonstration, that screen eating that sunlight, and they thought to themselves, gee whiz Louise, this is not going to go well. Oh, it's not going to go well. See, this is the dragonfly. See the color of the dragonfly right there? We came to get the sample sheet for the screen. I think they contacted us first. But I told them I wasn't interested. And the reason I wasn't interested because you're not sticking me in some ambient light controlled environment to benefit your screen. No, stick us in a fully lit environment. Heck, take us outside. Let's do this outside. They didn't want to do it. Nice guy at the end of the day. Real cool dude. He's a nice guy. I'm rude or anything. Very nice. But still, I want to do his side-by-side demonstration. I mean, I'm not going to pressure or push. No, if they don't want to do it, then I just move on. But still, I would like to see it. I would love to see it. So I would really like to see it. But I'm going to see if I can contact or reach someone down there that maybe I can talk to that can get me a sample sheet of that product because I want to do it side by side. Now, I know against our black technology, it won't be to hold up because our screens do pull an infinity contrast level. But still, I would love to be able to see this against our gunmetal technology because it is a fairly dark screen and it looks very nice. I like the screen. It looks like a challenge to us. We want to basically take it on. But if they say that diamond's better than theirs and we can overpower the diamond with the technology, then there's no point in going near yours. And that's the recommendation that they gave us. So, okay. I have no problem with that, but I'm still going to make a phone call and see if we can get a sample sheet of it. Some places we've been through, they do not have any samples of anything at all, period. Some places I go to, I can't use my first and last name. Now, for some people saying, well, you're a Christian, you can't lie. I have 5 first names. Actually, I have 4 first names on my birth certificate. I can use any one of those I want. It's still technically my name. So you can't sit there and say, well, he deceived us and came at us with a different name. No, those aren't my names. They're on my birth certificate. I just ended up with 4 first names. Actually, 4 first names and a last name. So I can use them. I just never use the 2. It's rare that I use them. Extremely rare, but I never use them. It's funny that I never use them, but it's rare that I use them. I've never used them in years. Now, my closest friends, they know my other 2 names. Everybody else, y'all don't know my names. I don't use them. Little mistake when I was born that my father wanted to name me one thing, my mother wanted to name me another thing, and I ended up with But it ended up with 4 first names and my last name. What? Yeah. Yep. And they're legally mine. Yeah, that dragonfly right there. Beautiful. I would love to be to test that. But I'm going to try. Maybe we get lucky in 2024. Maybe we can get our hands on a sample sheet. Who knows? You never know. But it'd be nice. All these other screens they have here, there's no purpose because the screens are too light. Our technology would overpower it with no problem. And the black or gunmetal would be overpowered. We're in time at. Why do you always go over in time? Let me see. So I am going to start working on. Yeah, that would give us the most affordable. We would have the most affordable gunmetal on the planet, literally. And since we'll be testing ours against the top certified screens, this will give us a ton of weight under that technology. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, that's basically about it. Taco, let's get the bubble bag. We are out. I'm going back home. Oh, I was going to set my mini projector for my desk. I'll do it tomorrow. We are installing our screen in our home theater room. That's what we're doing next. Got me a nice little place. And no, we're not making that mistake. That's the biggest mistake I made. I didn't think people would do dumb stuff like that, but apparently they do. And this is why we're dragging people to court for dumb stuff. But yeah, just my sister was saying next time around, just when you do it, make sure you have everything separate. So we're doing everything separate. And that's why also too, I think was a much better idea, just being able to go into different establishments and set up our screens. I don't know why they come up with that idea a long time. What was it meant to be? It's God's plan on everything. It wasn't meant to be, but that is a fantastic idea, man. Me, Taco, the bubble bag, we're gonna be all over in and out of buildings since I've shown it the technology, and it's gonna bring us a ton of publicity. On top of it, I told you we have that major site that's gonna allow us to put that ad tech technology in it. Oh, I cannot wait for that. That's gonna bring so much business to the company. It is. But as you can see, we're not in it for greed. Because we're in it for greed. There's technology we're engineering right now that had the ability to be able to, well, we've done this before with certifieds before, but to have that capability, this would be the lowest gunmetal we've ever designed. Now, again, I said before, we do consider the gunmetal technology under us, we consider it to be a white screen. Under us, we do, because we have much more advanced technology than the gunmetal. But, compared to all the other gunmetals next to that technology, they won't be to hold a candle to it. I'm sorry, I did say I wanted the most affordable gunmetal on the market. Okay, so yes, we have our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because he's the one that blessed us with the technology on how to design it and to build the interior. He also gave us a name for it. And we're going to get ready to get started and get this thing up and going. Got some shopping to do in a few minutes. I'm going to go over and pick up Elite Screens right now and go buy their ultra short though version of it. Yeah, I forgot I even had this in my pocket. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. We're talking to the cat. All right, got to go, people. Be safe out there, and God bless.